All right, so you can either set it and forget it, or you can cook it and eat it right away.
So we're going to opt for that
options.
one.
Yeah.
Because we're very hungry. And
Mushroom stroganoff.
with Kathleen Delaney.
We are going to
chef.
make that, yeah.
MyGreatGrapes.com.
Yeah.
Hasn't changed?
No, Great Grapes Catering, that's me.
Mushrooms and so much more. So what? Mushroom
It's
stroganoff.
really simple. This is mushroom season, so you could use any mushroom you'd like, actually. So, but today I picked creminis, which are baby bellas. And what you want to do in your crock pot, if you're going to do that, is you set it. This is a 4-hour meal, so you can, go pick the kids up, run around, do all your errands, come back, bada bing, it's done. It's done. So, but it's also really quick on the stove too. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we know how to. What do you know about mushrooms and cleaning them, Seth?
I tend not to clean as much as I should.
Well,
apparently,
you never want to put them in water, is what I'm saying. So you want to either moisten a paper towel or a kitchen towel, and you just want to wipe off. In the store when we get these, they're usually pretty clean, but a little bit of dirt comes with them because they're good fungi, And and so we're going to wipe it off. And then we today for our purposes, I just like the big ones, and we're going to cut them up nicely. But when you do this in your crock pot, you take all the ingredients, and first we're going to cut up the mushrooms nicely, and we're going to put a little bit of flour and roll them in flour, and then put them in the bottom of the crock pot. Okay. But for us today, we're going to make an actual, a roux and a sauce and all that stuff. But it's so easy. This could be a 4-ingredient meal too. We've got spinach, we've got shallots, we've got sour cream. That's what makes the stroganoff part of it.
Ooh.
And of course, I'm going to throw in my own little Grey Poupon and a little bit of goat cheese.
No,
because
not
what's a Kathleen meal without Grey Poupon and goat cheese?
Question, Kathleen. I don't see you using the stem of the mushroom. Do we not?
We can, absolutely. That's just I usually take them off. If they're this size mushroom, I like the cap more, but I save them and then I make a stock out of them. So that's
cool.
That's always going to give you a lot of flavor. And I've got a little bit of unsalted butter today. So for our saute purposes, I'm just going to put a little butter in the pan, and that's what we're going to use to make the sauce so that we could eat it today.
But you wouldn't? Would you put butter in your slow cooker?
No, not necessarily. You could spray it with that a nice canola organic cooking spray. Keep it nice and clean. But you're basically layering things when you put it in your crock pot.
Right.
And it's great because it's a low, slow burn. It keeps it cooking. And for today, what we're doing is a fast swing it together. But the one thing you do want to do is if you want to have it over some sort of a noodle or an egg noodle, or I make it with with linguine. I love pasta. So
as long as it's something delicious,
yeah,
who cares what it is?
If you come home and your crock pot's all set, and the only thing you have to do is boil water and throw a pound of pasta, I think that's a pretty good deal. That's a great meal.
That's something I can handle. That's for sure.
All right, so here we go. So we're going to throw for right now, we're going to throw, you know why we put those in first, right? To build levels of flavor.
That's why you're here, because I don't know these things.
Well, yeah, because I like using shallots with mushrooms as well, because shallots have a more delicate flavor. But you could use a nice Vidalia onion, whatever you prefer.
Anything in the onion family.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Whatever you got.
So now we're going to take some of the mushrooms. Oh, actually, let's do. This is my favorite thing to do. Put my thumb over a bottle of wine and give it a little flavor and get it a little worked out. So
I love
again,
that flavor of white wine too.
It is great, and this is a white wine blend. You can use whatever you have open at home, and don't feel like you have to. Always my rule of thumb is never use a wine you wouldn't drink.
Okay.
So even if you're not a wine connoisseur or fan, always use a white wine that you know is palatable, because otherwise you're putting that flavor in. Again, you're building flavors.
Now, is there a recommendation what part of the cooking process you put the white wine in? Because some people I see finish with it.
That's for my sauce. I'm going to do the same thing, but this is what I want. I want to flavor the onions. I'm trying to build the flavors as we go through the dish.
Interesting.
Now, again, that's going to be your liquid in your slow cooker, so it's going to cook down. All the alcohol cooks off, so don't be concerned about that. And it's delicious. It really does give a wonderful depth of flavor. So now we're going to put in our mushrooms.
Okay. May I use my hands? Do you mind?
You please put in there. Yes, 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 yes.
I washed them.
And we're going to saute these babies up. Again, we'll probably put a little bit. Now, you could use a vegetable broth. You could use, and this is for your recipe in the crock pot as well. You can use a vegetable broth, you could use a chicken broth, or you can use a beef broth. Because stroganoff, predominantly is often beef. You use filet mignon. But I today made my my chicken broth out of the the water from the pasta because it has a little bit of starch in it. So then when we do hit it with a little bit of flour, it's going to have a nice consistency. It's going to give it a little bit of, because it has starch in it. So here we go. And I added my chicken base, which is no MSG, all organic. All chicken based. It's really good and it's great to have in your refrigerator. So we're going to put that in to help cook the mushrooms. And again, on the recipe, you just pour everything into your slow cooker. But for today, we get to watch it.
All right, so we're going to let that simmer
down.
down, Kathleen. Luckily, we'll be back with you. Throw some fresh thyme in there.
Fresh thyme, absolutely.
All right, well, it's time to take a break, but we'll be back with you in just a bit, Kathleen.
It
doesn't get old. It really doesn't. Thank you.
You bet. Yum.
Welcome back to Massfield. We're back with Kathleen Delaney. She's a personal chef, mygreatgrapes.com. We've got the Stroganoff recipe that makes this studio smell like $1 million.
I don't know what $1 million smells like.
Mushrooms and spinach.
And white wine.
In fact, that's exactly what $1 million smells like.
So, recap, Kathleen.
Okay, so this is the Dutch oven version I've done today, and but you could totally throw this into your crock pot, all the ingredients, and just let it go. And just let it cook.
Low and slow, right?
Low and slow and ready to go. That's what we call it. So this, right now, for the magic of television, I sauteed everything off, and I'm going to put a little bit of goat cheese, because I can't do anything without goat cheese.
Yeah.
And a little bit of, it's more like a half a cup, really. This is basically filling in the sauce. And so this would all go in initially, and then when you get home from your, and open your crock pot, you just mix it all together.
Oh, okay, so you finish it off.
Everything, literally, you can do it that way, and it's so delicious, and it just makes your day go well.
What's in a traditional stroganoff? I can't remember for the life
beef
of me.
stroganoff is usually filet mignon, or at least that's what I always put in. My mom made the best beef stroganoff. That was the one go-to dinner that I always wanted. So that's so funny because she doesn't love to cook like I do. So it's
But you remember it. It's amazing how.
And that's what made me think of it because we love mushrooms, and then and of course filet mignon is beef tenderloin, yum, and it doesn't take long to cook, and it's always delicious. You put a little sour cream in it, a little bit of some onions and garlic, and you're done.
I think today is National Filet Mignon Day.
It is.
Oh, well
yeah,
then
I believe it is. So let's just imagine that we've got some in there to celebrate.
Filet mignon, absolutely,
absolutely. A cut of meat. Happy Filet Mignon Day, everybody.
That we all
Your
know
card's in the mail.
I know,
What'd you just do?
Well, what I did is I put, how I told you I was making what we call a roux, thickening sauce, and basically I put a little bit of flour into some of my chicken broth that I got from my pasta water. Again, if you can utilize everything in front of you, it just takes your time. It takes time. It becomes, makes it go quickly, and it just tastes great.
Tastes great.
It does.
I want to taste it. Let's
So
plate
a little
this
bit of
puppy up
pepper,
and
because
go.
that's what it smells like it needs.
Okay. Did you put these on?
I did earlier.
Oh,
I did. I slipped it in there, but you don't have to. That's just a Kathleen thing. Okay, a little bit of salt and pepper. Of course, a little bit more thyme, and then we'll dress it with that. And then what I like to do is I like to just throw the pasta that I had ready to go
in there
into the sauce. And so what it does is it absorbs things, and it's going to be delish. And then you just plate it. Now, if you do not like pasta, are you gluten-free, you're not a pasta person, that's cool. Take out the pasta and put extra spinach in, and then serve it on a bed of spinach or on your favorite vegetable. And then we're ready to go.
Okay, well, you plate it up.
Kathleen.
If you want a copy of this recipe, it's on our website, mymassappeal.com. Now,